Hello and welcome to my channel, Emma Jane's Garden. It's been a while, I'm really sorry. It's been a good 3, maybe 4 weeks since I last did a video, and it has been manic, absolutely manic. I've been trying to get things planted. I've done a few videos, I just haven't got them as far as even editing and putting them out. So I thought what I'll do is I'll do you a tour of what I have been doing, and then I will slowly put the other videos up. So everything is going really crazy. Obviously I did have a really bad back in the last video, I think, and that's really put paid to me doing a lot of stuff. So I did struggle to get a lot of things done. I am back feeling better, so I've been able to get digging, I've been able to get bits done, which has been fantastic. Look at my larkspur, look at that, beautiful, it's so tall, can't believe it. So let's go and have a look. We'll start in the polytunnel and then we'll work our way up. Look at the polytunnel, it is looking amazing. So we've got nigella, we've got cornflowers, we've got a little bit of clary sage left, most of that's going over now. We've got more cornflowers, and then we've also got the larkspur, this beautiful larkspur here. Won't focus on it, it's looking at the ones behind. A calendula. Now the calendula is going to have to go, although it's very beautiful. I didn't plant it there, and it's not great for arrangements. I don't really like the colour. But I've got to put my zinnias out. They've got to go out today, because otherwise I don't know what I'm going to do with them. And then these are the sweet peas that I got from my friend, and they've been amazing. I mean, the length on some of those, look at the length on that, amazing. And then a bit of a mess. I've got a couple of dahlias that still need to go out. That's kind of last ones really. But look, these are my snapdragons. They're looking just amazing. And then I've got some gypsophila here as well, which has gone crazy, but it's a pain to pick because it just all gets stuck together. So I will definitely do it again next year, but it's beautiful, but I think I need to put it not so close. And then when we come outside, not a lot's changed out here. I haven't done anything to this bottom plot. I've just been using it as a bit of a dumping ground, so we won't go around this one too much. Let's walk up to the top plot. So we're up on the top plot, and I'm going to show you. Look at my ammi. Look at it. It looks so good. So do you remember I had a real problem with the ammi? Didn't know what was going on. It looked stunted. It looked like something had eaten the roots. I was really worried about it. But look, it's looking amazing. Let's go and take a closer look. So this is the ammi. Look at the size of these. Huge. So pretty. It's literally just about to burst. So it's ready for me to make bouquets this weekend, which is brilliant. It's looking better. It's not bland anymore. There's flowers. It's looking pretty. It's looking good. I'm happy. So what we'll do is we'll walk up. And over here, so the random green thing is to stop the birds getting to our strawberries, because they were eating all the strawberries. So we've got strawberries in here. Gooseberries. Look at these gooseberries. These are awesome. Gooseberries. Looking yummy. Can't wait to eat those. Don't know what happened to that gooseberry bush. Doesn't look terribly healthy. So we need to do something with that one. I've even got, in my little cage here, red currants. So on this plot I like to grow fruit. So obviously it used to be a fruit and veg, but now I grow fruit and flowers because my kids eat fruit and not many vegetables, so it wasn't much point growing a lot of vegetables. This clematis is looking good. I've got a lovely clematis here, which is, I just need to tie the bottom bit in a little bit. Rhubarb's gone over. It just kept going to flowers, so we kept pulling the flowers off, and now something's eating it, so I'm not too worried about that. I've got my cosmos here. I'll just go around to the other side. I've got my cosmos in this bed here, which had parsnips in last year, and these are some that are flowering, and I didn't realise when I bought them that they were a dwarf variety. So as you can see, some of them have, I don't know what's happened to them actually. I think it's because I've just let them flower and they're going to seed, because everything else is looking fine in here. Obviously those ones are as well, but because I can't really use them, they're too short for anything. I just couldn't bring myself to pull them out while they were still flowering. But all the rest are doubles. There should be a double cosmos. And then if we look here, this is another cosmos bed. You can see I didn't pinch this little guy out, so he started flowering, but that's fine because I'll take that flower off, and you can see, can you see that it's already branching, and so it'll come from there anyway. So, but this is a really pretty one. Look at that, really pretty. And then I've got some bigger ones at the back there. Over here, these are my straw flowers. Helichrysums. I don't really know what happened to them either. I think they came out of that tunnel of my friend that was closing down, and I put them in the ground. They seem to be doing really well, and then they went brown underneath, and I do think they're just because they came out of the tunnel, so they're starting to look good again now, so I think they'll come on. I've still got some alliums, allium molly I think it's called, there. Then if we go, these are my carnations. I know not a lot of people grow carnations because you can get them anywhere. Yeah, I really like the carnations because I think they look really nice in a bouquet. And some of these are really pretty. The only ones that haven't come so far are the white ones. So we've got the red, we've got the pink, we've got the stripy pink and the dark pink. This side is my larkspur. This is my outside larkspur. So this was planted the same time as the stuff in the polytunnel. So you can see why having a polytunnel is a bit of an advantage. They've come, what, 2 weeks? Not even that, a week before these ones. You can see these are just starting. They're just starting to come, and they're obviously a lot shorter. The ones in the polytunnel are much taller. And again with the snapdragons, these have just started. These are planted at the same time as the ones in the tunnel, obviously a lot smaller. So definitely an advantage of growing the snapdragons in the polytunnel. So yeah, that's those. What have we got down here? So this is a bit of an all sorts bed. So this was a new bed that I did. So I've got some oregano, mint, dahlias, poppies, and these are the poppies that I'm going to be using for the seed heads. So I just want the seed heads really. I mean, they're beautiful. They are very beautiful. But I let the bees and that have them, and then I'll save the seed heads. More mint, and then I've got some linoleum, some statice, sorry. Yeah, and then I've got some statice at the back there, and some gladioli. I don't know where they've come from, because I didn't plant them. They've come from another, I don't know, to be honest. This is my daughter's bed. She plants all sorts in there. So she's got, look, she's planted a strawberry inside this little house, and it seems to be growing. So, but this is her little bed with her little rabbits and things on it. And then this one is actually, it's got 2 dahlias in it, but it's got the cornflowers. I love these cornflowers. Look at the purple. It's such a lovely purple. I'm really struggling with focus today. There we go, beautiful purple on them. So we've got a purple and white cornflowers here. And then we've got some sweet williams as well. If I can come around here, some gorgeous sweet williams in between. And then there's a dahlia, which is Queen of the Night, it's my favourite one. And then there's a yellow one at the front here. This bed's been my absolute disaster. It's meant to have the more clary sage in it. There is some in there. It's just not doing very well. And now I've got lettuce and stuff growing, which is what was in here last year. So obviously that went to seed. So if I need this space, I'm going to have to pull this lot up. But I think I might need this space. But I'm leaving it go for a minute and see how it goes. So this bed, on the other hand, is looking awesome. So in here is gladioli, and then I overplanted it with cornflowers because I didn't think I had enough cornflowers. I think I've got a lot of cornflowers now, but there we go. And I do actually need to put some netting up for supports over this. I need to do that soon actually, else I'm never going to get it over the top of the cornflowers. I might do that in a minute. And then I've got more cornflowers. Can't have enough cornflowers, but cornflowers are good, they're cut and come again. And then I've got a dianthus here, which is a lovely red one, actually really nice, really deep red. Got one there. I keep getting myself in the picture. This is the Nigella bed. It's really not a great Nigella bed. More Sweet Williams. I've got some Aqualidra, chives. That's our like wild garden area, which is where the pond is. Pond is looking good. Oh, there's even tiny baby frogs in there. Let me see if I can get a video. Oh, there's loads of little frogs. Oh wow, that's amazing. Look how tiny they are. Can you see him? Kind of just down here. That's really cool. Well, those are my slug pellets. They are what are going to get rid of all my slugs and snails. And that is why I always have a little pond. Even if it's a tiny one. Always need a bit of a pond. So let's go round to the other side and I'll show you these beds. So this bed's still looking a bit bare, but things are coming. Things are coming on this one. I have struggled with this bed. I just don't think I fertilised it enough in the winter. I dug it over and planted it without really thinking about manuring it. So I took everything out, manured it, put it back down, but everything was a bit late by then. So you live and learn. So this is like a big Shasta daisy. It's called Crazy Daisy, so it's got really big raggedy petals. It's really pretty. Then we've got some more Nigella. And then I've actually got some really nice red Astrantia come in here, which I'd forgotten I'd actually planted. So that's gone through the digging stage and everything and managed to survive. So I'm quite happy they're still there. My phlox, this is all perennials in this bed. And then I did have heleniums here, and I'm really struggling with the heleniums because the slugs and snails love them. So they're not looking great. So this is all meant to be heleniums, but I have planted some dahlias and a rose as well now, just to add a bit of interest. Ooh. And some strawberries. I'm going to have that before the birds finish it off. Nice. So these are the newest beds I've put in. So I've been digging these every time I go because this was all covered in plastic, if you've seen any of the earlier videos. So I've been rolling the plastic up, digging, rolling the plastic up and digging. So in this one I have, I've got some wild carrots and Dorcas carota. I've got, oh gosh, what's that one called? Verbena vanensis, and then I've got a couple of dahlias at the front. Then I've got, on the other side of the path here, I've got some phlox, which is beautiful. It's called cherry caramel. No, it's called creme brulee, these ones. I've got cherry caramel over there. So these are the creme brulee. I think I should have pinched them, because the ones I did pinch, I didn't pinch all of them, just some of them, because I wasn't sure if I needed to or not. The ones that I've pinched are looking healthier. And then I've also got some asters, and then more dahlias here. And then this is my dahlia bed at the back here. So obviously I've got a bit of lavender that was already there. I didn't want to take it out. The bees love it. So always want to keep something like that in. And then the rest is just dahlias. I've got a few more dahlias to go in actually at home. And then the bed at the top. This bed at the top. These are cherry brandy Rebecca, and then I've got some, I can't actually remember the name of the other Rebecca. I'll have to find out when it flowers. I knew I grew them earlier this year myself from seed. It was a different variety and I can't think what it was. So I grew the cherry caramel, cherry brandy, and then something else, and I've lost the label. It just says Rebecca on it, which isn't helpful. And then I've got some rat tail statice, some scabious, some cleome, and then on these ones I've got some more of the yarrow, achillea. So this is a mixed achillea. So that's those. Fruit cage, which is bursting full of produce. So I've got gooseberries, black currants, red currants, and then all of these are blueberries, which my kids absolutely adore. So I've always got to have loads of blueberries because they cost so much in the shops. Okay, and then we come round to this side, Again, this is a bit of a work in progress. This is meant to be my herbs along here, but I just need to carry on with this bit. But obviously with my bad back, I haven't been able to do a lot of digging, so I've kind of plonked herbs in, but I just need to make the path here and get that looking nice. At the back, that's where the cherry caramel phlox are, at the back in that little box there. I only put that out yesterday, so that's a new bed. Oh, and these are my grasses. So it's gone a bit crazy. So these are my I don't know how you say it. It's the Brassica maxima, but they just look so good in bouquets and stuff. I think they look really good. And at the back, I've obviously got my bunny tails, and I was really worried because they're really super short, but actually they're coming out, they're getting longer, so that's good. Trouble is, everyone on the allotments is going to end up with these once they go to seed. But at least they're pretty grass, I suppose. So that's the grass bed. And then you can, this is where I have my ranunculus. They're still here. They've all gone over really now, so I need to dig them up because I need that room just to put the rest of my dahlias in. And these are my sweet peas, and literally overnight these have come up because they weren't even flowering yesterday. So I've got loads of sweet peas coming, which is brilliant. And there's some here, so all the way along. So sweet peas are looking brilliant. So that is the ranunculus. I have planted a couple of dahlias in here. I do need to pull these out. I was going to leave them in the ground, but I'm running out of space, so I think I'm going to have to pull them out, store the corms and replant in the autumn. This is my Ami bed, which I showed you at the beginning, which I'm really, really happy with. It's looking amazing now. And then these are my scabious. So I think my scabious is going to start flowering soon. So it's nearly there. And then I've got honesty at the back. The honesty hasn't done very well. Don't know why, once again, I'm not really sure, because as you can see, everything else in this bed's gone really well, and the honesty just hasn't enjoyed being there, so I'm going to try planting it somewhere else next year. But at the back here, what I've done is I've put in some equinox, which are big, long, tall, like globe thistles. So I've got 5 equinox in there, and then I've got it's a salvia, I think, right in the middle, but it was already there, so I've just left the salvia there for a minute. And then I've got a lovely big lavender here, which is beautiful. Let me take you over to the middle plot, which I think has had the biggest transformation since you last saw it. So let's cross over and have a look in here. So on this one, I mean, look at everything that's growing. I don't know if you've seen my videos from before, but if you haven't, go back and have a look at what this looked like. It was just barren when I first got it. There was nothing on it at all. We put the path in, and then I slowly started putting the beds in, and I've got to say, it's looking amazing. I'm really happy with this one. So here I have sunflowers all the way here with their support on. I've got Sweet Williams, so I'm going to be putting a chipping path, just haven't got around to it, in the middle here. So then I've got Sweet Williams going up along the edge here, so they'll be ready for next year now. So these were all sown earlier this year, so they'll be, obviously Sweet Williams are biennials, so you sow them for the following year. So I'm actually just about to plant some more, so that I'll have a succession of Sweet Williams through the whole year next year, because I love Sweet Williams. They are like one of my favourites. And then we've got this bed, which has got the statice in at the back. So the statice that was on the other, the new bed over on the other side, they were just what was left over from this. So this is the actual main bed. It does need a bit of weeding, top part. You can see I've weeded this bottom bit, but I haven't weeded the top bit. So these are my amaranth. They're not as good as I was hoping. I assumed these were going to be really big plants, and they're tiny, and then they started having flowers, because they're meant to be like this, and they had these really cool flowers coming off them. But they're meant to be sort of knee height, at least waist height, and they're tiny. But actually what I did the other day is I fed them. I actually gave them some Miracle Grow. I had it on my plot from the people that I took the plot over from, and there was a bottle of Miracle Grow, so I thought, oh, I'll try that. So I've put that on, and they've grown loads since that, so that was probably what they needed. I normally use a seaweed feed, but that Miracle Grow was a miracle. They've done really well. It's also helped the weeds to grow, which is a bit annoying, but there we go. So here on this bed, I've got my roses. And again, if you've seen my videos, you'll see that I was quite disappointed. I bought these beautiful roses from a friend of mine and they came and lost their leaves, and then I had to chop them back again. And this one especially, she was called Lady Emma, and it's David Austin rose, and I did not want to lose it. And I was so upset because I thought they were dying and dead, and I just didn't really know what I'd done wrong. Anyway, look, she's looking absolutely beautiful. Again, I gave her some of that Miracle Grow as well. Good stuff. But yeah, she dropped every single leaf and went brown, and I thought you can see where she's died back. But I'm going to chop those back once I know what's growing, what's not. And as you can see, she's got all new leaves coming, so I may well get some flowers, but later in the year. But I may not be able to pick them, I'm not sure. And again with this one, this was the Arthur Bell, and that did the same. I think this needs to be chopped back a bit further this winter because it's still all a bit top heavy. But she that and did exactly the same as did this one. But yeah, looking so much better. Look at those lovely new leaves. This is one we don't know what this is, so this is a mystery. So I can't wait for it to actually start giving me some flowers. Oh, look. Bloomin' green fly. Look. That's annoying. Bye. Squash them. Let's squash them. Ugh, I hate them. Seems to be loads on our allotments this year. But I did find some ladybirds. And I brought them down I found them in the hedge. So I brought them down here and I put them on my roses. And actually I put them on this rose. And they've pretty much nearly all gone from this rose. So I found these ladybirds and I just plonked them on the leaves and they went straight up. They ran up to the buds and they started munching on all the greenfly. So that was good. So I brought a couple down. I kept finding them in the hedge and bringing them over. So what else have we got? So I've got my runner beans at the back, which my daughter sowed earlier in the year. And then I've got some courgettes here, which are first to eat. But also I use courgettes to make displays with. So instead of using oasis, I let the courgettes get too big and then I use them as my oasis because the courgettes are full of water, and it's a really eco-friendly way of making an arrangement. But I will show you that once I've got some courgettes, but these are tiny at the moment. And then dotted around I've got some calendula as well along this line. This is where I need to weed. This is where having a bad back really hasn't helped. I haven't got on top of any of this. This was the bed that I put all the plants that I got from my friend who had the flower farm that she was closing down. So this hasn't been touched since I've put these in, other than cutting. So the sweet rocket has been cut and used and it's going to seed now. But I'm going to let it go to seed so that I can collect some seed and redo for next year. Then obviously I've got nigella and bits and pieces. At the front here I've got some calendula, I've got some scabious. These are the ping pong ones, and they come up with a blue flower, but you don't use the flower, you actually use the seed head, so you have to wait for it to go to seed, and then but I'll show you when it goes to seed. They're really cool. And then some more calendula at the front. These I think are called Snow Queen. Yes, they are. Look, she's a real pale, really pale yellow. So they're just starting. And then I've got some Veronica, I think they are, those two there. And then I did have some more things. I've got some more scabious I've just planted out here, so they're quite small at the moment. More sweet rocket, and this sweet rocket I love. It's like a pale lavender colour. So I used it all in my bouquets, cut it right to the ground and thought I'd dig it up, and then it started sprouting again. I didn't realise they actually did that, so that's quite cool. So I've left some seed to collect, and then obviously it's growing again, so I'll use those in bouquets. This is a type of Achillea, but it's got a little white button flower to it, so that's nearly ready to flower. And then I've got some actual multicoloured, like I think they're pinks and purples Achillea there. And then those are my snapdragons. They're looking really good. They're really branching, those ones. I pinched them when they were much smaller, and I think you need to pinch them when they're quite small because you can see how bushy they've gone. You see how much bushier they are than the ones over on the other plant, because I think I pinched them out much smaller. You can see I haven't pinched this one. See the difference? by not pinching it. I mean, it's still branching, look, you can see it's still branching, but you see where I've pinched that one, look at the difference here. So you can see by pinching how much, you can see the ones that I haven't pinched and the ones that I have. So yeah, that's good. And these, look at these, I like these. So look at these, I absolutely love these. And these are straw flower. They've got a different name and I can't remember the name. It's just, I've just written straw flower because that's what I knew them as. But they are beautiful. But you can feel, listen, they're papery already. So pretty. And they come in the pink and the white. The white tend to have black centres and the pinks have the yellow centre. But again, these really needed pinching. I did pinch a few of them. So you can see where they're branched off at the bottom. But obviously once I've taken that flower out, that one, who's really tall, he'll be used this week in my bouquets. I will have pinched him, and the ones at the bottom will obviously all come up, so that's fine. And then along the back there are my daughter's onions that she planted, and then a random rhubarb decided growing. We knew it was there last year, but we dug it out. Obviously not all of it because it's come back, but there we go. So we got a lot of weeding to do. A lot of weeding to do. It's just having the time to get down here. But the onions are looking amazing in amongst the weeds, so it's not too bothered. So this plot I'm really proud of. I think it's going to look lovely once it's all in flower. I do have quite a bit of weeding to do, and my initial idea was to obviously put all this teram down on every bed, and it will happen next year. It will happen next year. Just the teram costs quite a lot of money, and you get to that point where you just need to get your plants in the ground, and I didn't have the money to spare. So I've got another 2 beds worth of teram to put down up on that top plot, but next year I will be putting teram down on all of it just to keep the weeds down. But that is it. That's my little tour of my plots. I haven't seen you all for a while, and I thought I really need to do you a video to show you where I am with everything. When you walk around you think, oh, there's not much here, you know, you're looking around, there's not a lot of flowers, but every week I'm making a good 4 or 5 bunches of flowers out of this plot every week. And I've also got some at home, and what I'll do is I'll do you a tour of the one at home, but the one at home hasn't developed as quick as I was hoping, purely because of my back and the fact that I was on such a steep slope. I just couldn't dig it. I was in too much pain with my back, so that's gone on the back foot, but it has got obviously flowers growing. So I'm really happy with everything's here. I'm glad I've managed to finally get around to showing you what I've been doing. I'm going to get this video up as soon as possible, so I will see you in the next one. I've got some really good videos that I've done, but I just haven't edited them yet. But I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.